What's up, everyone? Welcome. Sketch here, joined by Unishek. John, good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too.
Happy belated New Year to everyone across the Halo community far and wide. Shout out to folks that are out there watching us on Twitch, YouTube, and I believe we're on TikTok right now.
Yeah, live on TikTok, yeah.
I thought I was too old for TikTok, but there you go. You're teaching this old dog some new tricks. So appreciate everybody joining us today. We are super excited to kick off our first live stream of the year, and it is a doubleheader doozy.
Yes, yeah.
We're going to dive right into what you can expect with next week's Halo Infinite update. It's our spring update with our new operation. A lot of goodies there. And then the second half of our show, we're going to jump in with our friends from the HCS team and talk about that. But yep, to kick things off, before we go too far, I want to let people know we do have drops enabled. So if you're watching on Twitch, you will be able to earn yourself the Athens Ascent emblem and nameplate.
Nice little Halo 2 reference there, yeah.
Just a little extra something for watching. So that drop is enabled. So thanks to our friends over on the HCS team for helping us kick that off. So yeah, John, before we fully jump into Infinite, which we're going to do here in a minute, kind of figured New Year, first stream, just be good to kind of have some level setting and table setting, maybe, if you will, before we get too far ahead. So as a reminder, we are Halo Studios now, and we, as a studio, are heads down, working really hard on the next chapter of Halo with multiple projects in development being built in the Unreal Engine. It's a super exciting time, and we're not really going to talk about or show any of that kind of stuff today, but I did want to remind folks that we are full speed into the future, and at some point, rest assured, we will be sharing more, but that's not on today's agenda. But it is important just to frame that because we do have a core team that is still working on Infinite and still committed to helping to refresh the experience, bring all the new stuff into the game, a lot of which we're going to look at later today. But, just want to make sure folks kind of have that understanding that we're kind of looking ahead, but we've got a core team that is still focusing on Infinite and doing some cool stuff. And really, I think if we look at last year's update with the MA5K, John.
Great journey, yeah.
It's a really good example of how this team's able to still kind of do a lot with a little and bring new content and new experiences into the game and into the sandbox in a way that sort of fits within the scope of that team.
Yeah, people might have noticed the MA5K had used the same animations as the assault rifle, right? But it still brought in that new SMG gameplay and filled that role in the combat loop, right? So the team is trying to find new creative ways to still enhance the Halo Infinite experience, just being a little bit smarter about it and faster with it.
And I'm here for it. I know a lot of folks have enjoyed the MA5K, and it's very cool the team's found ways to go a step beyond sort of just doing geo changes, even though we do have some cool new versions of weapons coming as well from a visual perspective. Now, let's talk about Halo Infinite and these updates. We mentioned this last year, but in case you forgot or you might just be joining us, want to give you a sense of what you can expect going forward for Infinite. You might remember this, but next week we're kicking off sort of this, what we're calling the spring update. And we want folks to understand, think about these as kind of on a seasonal / quarterly cadence, right? So we had the winter update last November. That'll wrap up next week. We're kicking off the spring update, which will be led by the Frontlines operation. This sort of first release of these broader seasonal updates, think about them more as also having a download component. So you'll actually download a content update to your console. And then also within that spring update, we'll then roll into our next operation, which would be Operation Blue Team, followed by Operation Forerunner. And then after that, now we're moving into the summer update, which would be another larger update that you would download as a content update, followed by 2 operations. So wanted folks to just have a little bit of context for kind of how the release cadence is going to go and sort of how we're going to have larger content updates followed by operations, a larger content update followed by operations, just so we're all on the same page with kind of what to expect going forward.
Yeah, and we got a good look. I don't know if we can pull it up again.
We can we'll do whatever we want. Let's pull it back up again.
Got some good stuff coming with the spring update, launching Operation Frontlines, and then we also have, you mentioned Blue Team. Can kind of make out what's going on in the background there, and Forerunner, some really cool armors that I'm looking forward to.
So, and then we're going to jump at, now today, obviously, we're really going to focus on that first column there, the Operation Frontlines and the content update that's going to come out next week. Before we do that in the build, though, I want to talk about a pretty cool change. I'm pretty excited about this, but you hear me talking about sort of a larger update that's a content update followed by operations. One of the new changes for these larger updates going forward, starting next week, will actually be with the Battle Pass, the Operation Pass itself. So historically, our Operation Passes have been 20 tiers of free content. Usually includes one full armor look that you would unlock over the course of that Operation Pass. And then there's usually something up front, a weapon model, coding that would be an optional premium instant unlock bonus. And yeah, you're going to hear me talk about things like free and premium. It's no secret. We are a free-to-play game, and we do need to make some money in the game, and we do that through customization in a non-intrusive way. And obviously, the teams continue to evolve that model and learn a lot along the ways. But it's still part of this game, and it will still be there. But I think you'll be happy with some changes as the team continues to take the feedback in that we hear from you and continue to try to make that experience even better. So that's going to start next Tuesday. When you log in, the first thing you're going to find is that the Operation Frontlines Pass has now been evolved and expanded to be 50 tiers of content.
With the premium
For the
pass.
premium pass, yes. So we're going to go in and show you what this means here in a second. But in a second, we're going to show you here in a second. But before I just want to give people some context here, like why this change? What does this actually mean? Think about it this way. Since we've launched Infinite in the months and years that have passed, we've got a lot of feedback from players about what they like, what they don't like, what they'd like to see differently about the content and the customization, the way it's offered in the game. We've seen cool things happen like the exchange, more ways to earn content. The team's been, I think, made great strides in making that earnable free content rise to a higher quality bar, be things that are more desirable for players. So I think we've been on a really good trajectory in that regard to try to continue finding that balance and continue to sort of be as player-friendly, player-first as possible. So the new premium pass that will now be a part of these first operations of each of these seasonal updates is 50 tiers, and it's actually going to now include up to 4 full sets of armor that you'll be able to unlock over the course of that pass. And I think what's cool here is one of the other pieces of feedback we've heard a lot is like, hey, all the best content only goes in the shop. And we're still going to have shop offers, but the team, I think, is trying something really cool here. Those 3 extra armor sets that will now be included in the premium pass are actually being taken from the shop in the future. So what does that mean? It means for 1,000 credits, which is 500 more than the original 20-tier operation pass, you'll have 50 tiers of content to unlock, which is 4 full armor sets, 3 of which you're going to get essentially a whole season before they will debut in the shop. So if you miss out on content in this operation pass, for example, and you don't purchase it prior to the end of the operation, now you'll know that you have a guaranteed way to still acquire that content when it rolls into the shop, beginning with the summer update later in May. On the flip side, let's say you're a free player and you also missed out on the Frontlines operation. It's kind of come and gone already. You will be able to find the free content from these operation passes in the exchange, beginning with the following sort of seasonal update.
Yeah, so free stuff stays free. Paid stuff stays paid, right? Just accessed at a later date via different means.
Yeah, so I think that's the main thing I want folks to understand. I like that we have a lot more predictability now, so you exactly know you have 2 different ways to acquire. You can get the content now and get it sooner. On the premium side as well, I do want to stress significant savings in value here with these 3 full armor sets. You're only paying 500 extra credits. By the time these go into the shop later,
they'll be full price bundles.
I would expect them to be full price shop bundles. Yeah. So it's sort of get them early, get them way, way cheaper. And we're going to take a look now if we want to go into to the build here, John. But there's just a lot more, again, the team's focus here. How do we bring more value to players? And I think this is hopefully our first step in doing that. And we can't wait to get your feedback once you get this in your hands. So
yeah, we mentioned free is the 20-tier pass.
Yep.
That is unchanged.
Good question.
Right? You're
Yep, good
still
point.
going full free
If you
and still getting a full set of armor.
Exactly. If you just are a free player, nothing changes for you. You can kind of ignore everything I just said, other than if you miss out on the free pass before it expires, and the operation window expires, you can obviously just pick it up in the exchange at a later date. But yeah, John's looking through this 50-tier pass right now.
Back here.
Starting with, this would be the upsell bonus offer. So if you choose to purchase the operation pass, as always, you'll get the instant bonus unlock. In this case, we have a pretty cool BR model. Are you going to buy it right now, John?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll actually do the full upgrade. I think I got
and if you want to do the full upgrade, it comes with some level skips and stuff, so you can kind of speed up your process.
Oh, I guess I
Maybe
can't.
not. We're doing it live. We're in a dev environment here. I do want to stress, by the way, I didn't actually say this. I want to be very clear here, too. Something that's not changing at all. Once you ever do buy an operation pass in Halo Infinite, it is yours to keep, and it will not expire. So that's been the way it's been since launch. That's not changing at all. So, John, why don't we meander through the pass a little bit? I mentioned that we have 4 full sets. One of those sets is part of the free track. The other 3 sets are part of the premium track. We won't spend a ton of time. We're not going to make you sit through a painstaking 50-tier walkthrough, but
painstaking. It's
show
awesome.
us. Well, we got a lot of good stuff to get to. I heard we have an HCS roadmap to talk about today, and some other exciting information. So let's see. Just showing us this BR, but why don't I'll hand it over to you. Why don't you bring us on a quick tour of the Operation Frontlines Operation Pass?
Yeah. So the first 20 tiers, right? If you're free, you're getting the free. If you pay premium, you're getting the premium track as well as that free track. And you can see we're building a set of armor. We're actually working on 2 sets of armor as we progress through these tiers. And it'll ultimately get you a Orcus helmet here at level 14. This is based off the Halo 5 concept of an ODST. Fans may recognize it. I believe I've got an armor hall Spartan setup with it where you can see it a little bit better. That's a haunted. Yeah, you can see it a little bit more on the on an SPI kit here, but I'll head back really quick.
I think it goes without saying, we didn't mention this at the top, but Operation Frontlines does have a lot of ODST goodness and ODST inspiration at its roots.
ODST Marine inspiration, absolutely. Here you can see you're getting a Hermes IIC, which is on the Mirage core. Hermes, I believe, was Kelly's helmet in Halo 5. And this is kind of like a Mirage take on that. And you get a helmet attachment for it as well. And that's for the free tier, right? So you're working on 2 armor sets in that first 20. And then once you go beyond that 20, you start getting some extra good stuff. You can see a cool shotgun Geo there, and then some more armor pieces, which will lead up to a Halo ODST style helmet here called Echo 9. I believe I'm going to change, if we can change screens, we've got it set up on this side here. Kind of dual wielding right here. So that's what that full set of armor will look like.
It's looking good.
Yeah. And
I know you're skipping through it, and we don't need to go too deep, but
this is what that full free set will look like, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Should have jumped over to this screen earlier. Sorry about that.
So that is the free armor set that you'll get for earning and just playing your way through the Operation Pass.
Yeah, that's the free Hermes.
Probably noticing, too, a fair amount of Spartan points sprinkled throughout, and the exchange will also be updated. You'll find returning favorites, things you may have missed in the past. So the exchange will continue to get updated as well with each new operation.
Yep. And as we progress even further, we're going to see a Forerunner kind of styled SPNKr as a weapon model, which is really exciting. We did have a Forerunner operation coming down the line, and you can see there's some Forerunner inspired chest pieces, shoulders, and fan favorite armor. The Hellcat is making its return, and this will be available in the premium option at tier 50, and it's got a helmet attachment that makes it mimic a armor that you see in the Halo 4 cutscenes when they kind of do a flashback to the war of like ancient humans and Forerunners. And this is what it'll look like actually when you fully have it equipped. Let me jump on over. Boom.
That's a deep cut, by the way, John, with that armor, that helmet attachment.
Yeah, so you got a full-on Hellcat, and you can pretty much choose which type of Hellcat you want to have when you use the attachment or not put the attachment on. And I think that's super exciting. And the team's been doing some really good stuff with helmet attachments in general recently. So that's the premium pass there.
Yep, and I'll just mention too, even if you choose not to buy the premium pass, it will still keep progressing. So pretty much at any point up until the end of the operation, if you do decide like, hey, I actually do want this, you're just a click away from just all of a sudden earning all the things that you've already been unlocking along the way. So your progress will still count. Cool. Anything else? Let me see that we're missing on the Battle Pass side. You want to just take a quick look? Now, we will still have some shop offers, like I mentioned a little bit earlier here. We can go over to John's screen, if you would, Nick, and just give folks an idea of what they'll find in the shop next week. A little more ODST goodness, I see.
Yep. So you got ODST and Marines. We can take a closer look on the other screen. Yep. That'll be great. And you can see here, this guy is based off the Marines from Halo CE. The helmet especially, that trooper helmet looks stellar, and it's even got the eyepiece, as the helmet attachment. See some people seeing this for the first time in the studio here. Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Big fan of that one. And then you also have an ODST, another ODST inspired set. Really cool. It's got a great helmet attachment as well. But yeah, like you were saying, that Frontlines UNSC aesthetic, it's coming out in full force with this operation.
All right. Thank you for that run through, John. And now we're going to get ready to switch gears and talk about the Sandbox. While you're getting that set up, if we could come off of the armor hall here for a second. I'll recap real quick while you're getting that set up. So most importantly, remember, if you do buy any premium pass in Halo Infinite, it's still yours to keep forever. It never expires. That's not changing. For premium players of Operation Frontlines, you will find a new 50-tier pass with even more content, 4 full armor sets, and content offered at significant discount and value now that will later show up beginning in May with the summer update will start to appear in the shop. So if you miss it, you'll be able to get it there. Another important point to make sure you're aware of, at the end of each operation window now going forward, the Operation Pass will no longer be available for purchase. So you do have a month to purchase it. Once you do, it's yours to keep. But if you don't, you will not be able to go back into the switcher and purchase this anymore. And this is just kind of the offset to balancing, moving things into the shop and sort of being able to pull some more content in now. But like I said, if you miss out on the free or premium pass during that active operation window, not to worry. Beginning with the next seasonal update window, you'll find the premium content available in the shop, and you'll find the free content rolling into the exchange. So I do like how the team has offered predictable, consistent, 2 different vectors to make sure players have options to acquire that content.
I'm getting a match loaded in here.
And I guess one more thing to clarify while John's loading, just to reiterate, remember at the beginning we kind of have a larger content update followed by 2 operations. The larger content update, that's going to include that 50-tier pass for the premium. The 2 smaller ones will be the traditional 20-tier pass. So you'll still have the full armor set. You'll still have an instant unlock up front. But it's kind of think about it as sort of big one and then 2 smaller ones, big one, 2 smaller ones. And that is sort of what the team is doing these days. And we can't wait to get this out the door next week and get your feedback and see what y'all think. All right, John, so you are loading in here in a custom game. We're talking about the Sandbox.
I'm going to walk backwards.
You're going to walk
not
backwards.
Reveal it early, hopefully.
Okay.
Oh, no, I fell down. Okay. Oh, well.
Now, we talked about the MA5K a bit ago as kind of one of those hallmark pieces of the winter update. And I think we've got something similar here as we think about our spring update. And there you go. What are we looking at, John?
We are looking at the Fuel Rod SPNKr, which is a brand new weapon. It's a modified SPNKr that is prepped to shoot fuel rod cannon shots. And it's got 6 rounds in its mag and is ready to just unleash tons of damage on people, vehicles, whatever you want it to do. It is primed and ready to deal tons of damage. I'll drop it, show it on the ground here. But yeah, we were talking about getting a little bit. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, if you want to, I figured I'd just let you blow me up here. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. It does have the customary drop you can see at long ranges, but I'm really excited for this one. There was one over on your spawn too, if you want to go pick it up. It's on the tippy top of your base. But yeah, the team has been working on this Similar to the MA5K, it does have those same animations, right? But it does bring that gameplay experience of the Fuel Rod into Halo Infinite, where you can just run around and blast things. One of my favorite aspects is you can see that classic Fuel Rod reticle as well from Halo 2, 3, and beyond. It's so cool, and you can just blast rapid fire with this weapon. Well, I'm worried about the Husky Raid matches, to be honest. This thing might just allow people to roll on through.
Well, we'll see, right? But Husky Raid kind of, it's always been known to be a little crazy and hectic. And actually, what's most exciting, new HCS starting weapon.
Yep.
No,
yeah. You were looking
Sorry,
for the
Tosh.
roadmap. Yeah.
Jokes, of course, jokes. But yeah, this is a Fuel Rod SPNKr, and folks will be able to find this, on various power weapon pads, potentially throughout different modes.
Yep, it'll roll in your launcher slot on power weapon pads, so you should be able to just get it right then and there for free on some of the maps.
Did you just kill me why I didn't even have a controller in my hand?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude,
I'm
always going to be trying.
Nick, let's
be
make
ready.
that, let's go full screen on and just soak in the Fuel Rod SPNKr here just for a minute and take it in. It's fuel and it's full glory. It's fuel glory. What am I even trying to say?
Glory.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a bit of a tongue twister.
It is. But yeah, this thing's gonna bring some green explosive goodness to the game. I'm always in for more carnage, more mayhem. And there we go. So yeah, big thanks to everybody on the gameplay team that helped to bring this to life. Looking forward to everybody getting their hands on it.
6 in a row. You can just fully blast.
Yeah, you're right. This is going to be just bonkers, and
it'll take over some.
It'll be bonkers
Husky Raid
matches.
matches.
All right,
sure.
we can come out. We can come out of the Sandbox demo now, and look, presto, changeo. We got some new friends joining us to continue our conversation today. Let's please welcome Tashi and Richie.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Hey.
Nice to be here.
Happy New Year. Welcome to our
Happy New Year.
doubleheader
It's almost February.
first stream of the year. Well, I mean, whatever.
I wasn't dissing you. I'm just saying it's going really fast.
It is going really fast. You're
Yeah.
right. And I guess I've seen you
It's
almost
been
every day since the New Year, so that was kind of disingenuous of me. But
Yeah, it was.
anyways, we'll roll with it. Guys,
man.
we're stoked to have you here. We're going to talk about HCS in a little bit,
Oh, okay.
but we're going to keep the Sandbox conversation going because in addition to the net new edition of the Fuel Rod SPNKr, we also have a variety of really cool and I think meaningful, impactful Sandbox tuning updates.
Yep.
That will be applied across the entire game, with also a couple that might have a little bit of a different twist, particularly as it might pertain to ranked and or HCS competitive things like that. So without further ado, you guys want to kind of jump in? I got my list here. Before we do that, sorry, let's level set here as well. John, I'll put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Just high
was ready.
level.
I'm ready for it.
What is a tuning update? But also, like, why do we even do these things?
Well, you want to maintain a healthy sandbox, right? Certain metas will develop over time. People will find new tricks and techniques and strategies that you haven't heard of or didn't think of. But most recently, the big change we did was we slowed down the rate of fire on the Bandit, right? Both the M392 and the Bandit Evo. And that is a starting weapon in tons of modes, and it's had knock-on effects that we knew would shake out and kind of shuffle the meta quite a bit. And we really wanted to take our time, monitor how that went out in the wild. And so now we're making adjustments so we can make sure the gameplay still feels fresh. And also we're not seeing any one weapon or couple weapons dominate in arena or in big team battle in any environment.
Yeah, as the players evolve the meta, we want to respond to it and then refresh it. So that's what we're doing here.
Awesome. Well, we've got quite a few things to talk about here that'll be going live next week. And to kick things off, looks like we're going to talk about a couple adjustments to the trusty old frag grenade.
Yeah, we've got some really good changes. One is slowing down the cast time. So this is the rate at which you are throwing multiple grenades or throwing a grenade and having your gun come back up. The speed of the grenade traveling through the air is staying the same. It's just how fast can you throw those multiples. And we're also increasing the bounciness, which is really exciting because you get that kind of classic Halo feel.
Yeah, this is nice. I mean, you're nerfing me a little bit. I can't spam nades as
I'm
much.
a nade spamming king. I know. I feel called out here a little bit. But
Yeah,
I don't know about you guys, but I have had cases where you feel like you're going to ricochet or bank that perfect nade, and it just kind of falls a little flat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all for a little extra bounciness and responsiveness there.
Yeah, I like the cast time too. The change there. I think, like you mentioned, it promotes more thought process for every grenade and intentionality. I think when you're in a battle, especially at a high level, you really want to make sure every decision you make is calculated. Now you have more thought that's required there.
Yeah, before it was just kind of, okay, I got 2, I'm throwing 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do like, too, that this change, as you all pointed out earlier, offset, that it actually kind of now brings the grenade throw rate, cast rate more in line with other titles in the franchise. So Infinite had kind of become an outlier, right?
Yeah, we've got a blog
The
that'll
span
go
was
out.
real.
Yeah, we'll have a blog that has the exact times, but Infinite previously was way faster than other games. So now we're trying to make sure it is a little more in line. It's on the faster side, but it's not abnormally fast by any means.
All right, next up on my list, I love this gun because it's super unique and cool. It's the Heat Wave. What do you guys want to tell us about this?
Yeah, so the Heat Wave, we were seeing people be very effective at range, right? It was a very hard-hitting shot if you landed that at range. So what we did is we slowed down the rate of fire. That's kind of more to balance it out with the Bandit rate of fire change. And then at distance, we now have that actually spread as it travels through the air.
Yeah, it feels more like going against a true shotgun. So when you're at longer ranges, you feel like, okay, I can challenge this weapon and be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I also have in my notes here that this change also just kind of makes the vertical spread behave more consistently with the horizontal spread. So you're kind of going to get a similar behavior now, whichever orientation you're in.
Yeah, the horizontal kept fanning out over time, or over distance, and now this one will kind of split up, even in the vertical shot.
All right, next on my list, the trusty Bulldog.
Yep. So similar, like we've been talking about, Bandit rate of fire really had a knock-on effect for this one. So we're slowing down its rate of fire a little bit, and we're also removing the headshot multiplier since it's not a precision weapon. And we really should see this have a lot of impact in, I'd say, arena matches in particular.
Yeah, I mean, playing against them with this weapon, you can notice the difference. So I expect players to react pretty quickly to that change.
That one just makes sense to me because it's a shotgun, you aim center mass, and it just is consistent that way.
Yeah.
So this one I really like.
But the other ones you don't really like?
I didn't get a chance to comment. You guys were already delivering such great messages.
Okay.
We got to run a show.
Feel free to pipe in anytime. So we'll keep it rolling here. And
now I'm not going to say anything.
Let's talk about, Tashi, why don't you tell us about the Stalker rifle? I'll put you on the spot.
All right, let's do it.
Stalker rifle.
The Stalker.
What's changed here?
Stalker just got nudged a little bit. So we reduced the rate of fire, make it feel better against the Bandit. If you've played Streets at all, you know you're running around like crazy with the Stalker, just destroying everybody. Now it's still powerful. Absolutely want to time in, go pick it up. But we just, nudged it just a touch. Like if you're a really high-skilled player, you'll probably notice. But my guess is most players, it'll feel the same.
I don't think I'm going to notice a tenth of a second. I don't. So, but I'll let you know. Okay.
To me, it helps with the pacing, Before I felt like I had to shoot it as fast as I could. Now it's like telling me, hey, take your time, actually aim it. Just that little bit of a difference matters. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's move along here and talk about the shock rifle.
Shock rifle was, we were seeing a lot of people just hip fire with this gun as opposed to aiming down, using the scope, and
So, man, Tashi, I'm so stoked for this
Dude,
roadmap.
I
Man, this is
cannot
gonna.
wait.
I think it's gonna be the best year of HCS
I
ever.
agree.
I
Yeah,
can't wait. I can't wait.
Big bombs that were dropped. As if you recall, like Tashi said, get your tickets right now. VIP is almost gone. Anyways, you may have noticed a little interruption. That's a first for us. We just had some sort of weird building-wide power flicker. We lost power everywhere. So thankfully, we're back up and running. Thanks for your patience and sticking with us.
Thanks for the production, folks.
Yes,
getting us back up.
Thank you, Nick, Phil, and Todd for being quick on your feet there. But yeah, that was a first, guys.
Yeah.
Can't catch a break. I said we've never had the two of you in here.
I know.
So something to do
Explosive.
with this aura and the
Explosive,
shock
yeah.
rifle
Electric.
together.
Yeah. Electric.
Electric,
Yeah.
explosive,
All
all the
loaded
above.
system.
It is electric.
It's
So
true.
you want to pick up where we were?
Yeah, we were talking
Did we
about
finish the shock rifle?
No.
We were talking about everybody's hip fires all the time.
that's pretty much it. The shock rifle was everyone's hip firing like
Yeah.
way too much.
Now, when you see a no scope on the HCS main stage, cheer a little louder because
Yeah.
it was definitely harder to hit this one.
Yeah, it's not expected that you're going to hit the headshot now.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tougher. I was joking. It's almost like Halo 4 no scoping, right? A little bit too easy. Now it's going to be more challenging when you go for those no scopes. Yeah.
All right.
John with a Halo 4 reference.
Let's keep
That went
going
over
through
everybody's
our
head.
I'm just saying.
Halo
I
Infinite
played a
spring update.
lot of every game.
Sandbox tuning changes. Next on my list, we'll keep it in the electric family. We've got the Disruptor.
Yep. Disruptor is, we were seeing some feedback around it, outperforming at range, especially because you could do that damage over time at a range. So we've increased how much it'll bloom. You can see it kind of flickering on its max bloom there. And then we've also on ranked maps, Richie, reduced the ammo.
Yeah, just want to be clear. Like on ranked maps only, we're reducing the ammo for this map or this
Okay.
weapon.
And that's just on the pickup, right? The
Yeah.
extra in that you have in your pocket.
Mhm.
All right. Getting near the end of our list here. Let's talk about the assault rifle.
Yeah, so the assault rifle had quite a significant change, I'd say August of last year. I think that was the FleetCom update, and we changed its bloom properties quite a bit. You can see before it expanded very quickly to that max bloom, but players really missed that initial accuracy that it used to have. So we're bringing that back. And it's going to have a more accurate starting to its bloom, but then it's going to expand to a much bigger outer bloom. So if you're going for those longer sustained ones, full auto, not really controlling it, you'll see it go a bit wider. And then in addition to that, we've got the reduced headshot multiplier. Actually, we've taken it off and reduced ammo on those ranked maps.
Yes, just like you said. To be clear, only place where we're reducing ammo for the assault rifle and disruptor, ranked maps only.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
one feels like it's now more in line with the spirit of what I think the assault rifle, or at least how players intend to play with it. So it's a nice, elegant change. I feel like you guys made.
Yeah, some people have said it's a buff. Some people have said it's a nerf. I want to see how it nets out with everyone out there in the community. Because anytime you hear it's both, that means you've probably found a pretty good spot. So I'm just excited to see how people feel about the change when they go hands-on.
Yeah.
All right. We got one more Sandbox tuning update. This one's actually not regarding a weapon. This is movement-based.
Yep. So strafe acceleration, we are reducing strafe acceleration. Fans have been asking for this for quite some time.
And
we're
the crowd
excited to
goes
bring
wild.
it out. Yeah, the crowd goes wild. We're excited to bring this into Halo Infinite next week. Richie, I know it's been very impactful in ranked and HCS gameplay.
Yeah, I would consider this probably the most impactful change to gameplay meta, like full stop. Just playing with this the last few months, testing it out, it's a very noticeable difference. Obviously, it addresses the jiggle peak feedback we've been hearing. So I'm really excited to see how the meta shifts when we're watching the best players play.
I had just spent the whole holiday break learning how to jiggle peek.
Left, right, left, right, left, right.
Could you give me a heads up, man? Come on. All right. So again, we got interrupted there in the middle, but you will be able to find greater details on all these tuning updates and frankly everything on today's stream. If you head over to Halo Waypoint at some point after the stream, you can dig into our blog there for more details. Let's shift gears here now, guys. We've covered the Sandbox. Pretty excited about this one. Let's talk about modes. We've got a new new to Infinite, but fan favorite returning. John, tell us what's coming next week.
Yeah, next week we've got Assault making its triumphant return. You can see here we've got a little bit of B-roll of Assault on the fan favorite High Ground. A nice little matchup here. Teammate is throwing a fusion coil all the way down, almost hits the bomb carrier. And yeah, bomb is back. We're going to have one bomb. We're going to have neutral bomb. There will be a 4v4 playlist featured on launch day, and there will also be a squad battle featured Assault playlist on launch day. So whether you want to play it in that smaller setting or the bigger setting, you've got options there.
It's good stuff. We'll talk more about Assault here, I think, in a minute with you, right, Richie? But I also wanted to ask you about, in my notes here, I was just speaking of, John mentioned playlists for Assault dedicated. Let's talk about ranked playlists for a little bit. Can we get into that? And first here, I got a new rotational is coming to ranked next week.
We do have a brand new rotational debuting next week. It's a ranked squad battle. So 8v8 as you know it, in a competitive atmosphere, like you mentioned, we'll be debuting Assault in that playlist. Both neutral bomb and one bomb will be playable in ranked squad battle. Bandit Evo starts. It is a ranked playlist. And on one bomb, we'll have Cassini Bay and Refuge, fan favorites from Halo 2, Zanzibar, Headlong, as we know them. I'm really excited for this. Another note, you will be able to play full party size, 8 people, get 7 friends, join up, have a blast. Playing in playtest, it's just funny moment after funny moment, but you know, it's ranked. You got to get serious for a second. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Remember,
me
like,
too.
Halo 2 clan battles?
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
Getting to
ranked
play
clan
these
battle.
maps? Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm looking
definitely going to
forward to
roll
that.
deep with a party and, yeah, just get my ass kicked in squad battle.
Richie, ranked is Assault is also coming to a few other playlists, right?
Yeah, a few other social players, right, Brian?
Yeah, what you mean in ranked or you mean in
Yeah.
social? Oh,
In
Yep.
ranked, sorry, we also
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. Next, we have obviously ranked Assaults, 4v4. You will be able to play it, as you can see here, Aquarius, and on Fortress, which is a new map coming to ranked, or coming to HCS. It's a little sneak peek for later. But I think it plays really well. These maps are great for it. Very, very fast paced. Got to make sure you stay alert out there.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to make sure we covered that
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
mode
No,
side.
it's
And then,
huge.
yeah,
it is
and,
big. Yeah.
and
Good
then
shout out.
we also do have a new map coming, right?
We do have a new map coming. Like to finally introduce Origin.
Nice.
Long time coming. Another fan favorite.
Hey, this looks familiar.
my
It does
favorite.
look familiar. It's Halo 5 Guardians remake of Coliseum. As you can see, it's been created by Haya Mike, Comerplex, Dark Maiming. Been working with these guys on this map for a while. They've done a fantastic
Looks
job.
awesome.
Huge shout out to these guys. Super cooperative. Great to work with along the way. And yeah, we will be having Slayer and CTF coming to Ranked Arena for this map. And on top of that, you can find it in other ranked playlists like Slayer and Doubles.
Yep. It'll also be scattered around a couple other different non-ranked playlists as well.
It'll be in the social.
Yep,
Yeah.
you'll be able to find that in social. So we got new maps, but I'm pretty excited about this, Richie. You guys have made some really high impact, cool changes to existing maps. Tell
Yeah.
us about that.
Obviously, we've had some maps that have been with us in Ranked and HCS since the inception of the game, and even a little bit past launch, like Forbidden, Recharge, Aquarius, Streets, maps like that. And we just realized some of our players may have found optimized strategies on these maps. We're like, okay, what can we do to maybe improve these maps and change the meta a little bit? As you can see here, we've added jumps that may look subtle at first, but really they can make some impactful moments in games. Like you see the one in Aquarius, I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
huge.
Another route into the base, whether you want to pull the flag or plant the new bomb, and just different lines of sight on Recharge, like you can see here.
This is a really big one too.
Yeah, like you can see here, just different routes to keep your opponent guessing. You know, sometimes as you learn over time, you place your reticle in a certain spot and just wait for an opponent. Now you have a little bit more to think about.
Yeah, and if you're on the the bottom side of these maps in this scenario, a lot of times you feel like, well, I'm just like a fish in a barrel. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of stuck here. I have nowhere to go. So now you have different options to play with as a player, and now you get into the head game with the other player. Are they going to be expecting this? Do they have to check this? So it just adds this new kind of dynamic element to these maps in like a really subtle way. So, I'm excited to see how it all plays out. So I think if you're like a high level player and you're seeing that, your mind is probably like, holy crap, like now in this situation, I can jump there. And when I want to chase after the guy with the oddball, I can take this route. Like it like really changes specific moments in a big way.
Yeah, can't wait to see that, how it unfolds with the high skilled players, especially.
Yeah, like me, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can make any of those jumps. They look like a pretty small area. Speaking of high skilled players, tell us, like, let's bring all this together now, Richie and Tashi, and tell us a story. Sort of what does this mean in terms of the HCS map rotation, and kind of what are we going to see this season?
Let's talk HCS map rotation. As you can see on your screen here, there's a lot to ingest. Going from year 3 of HCS into year 4, we do have 2 new maps coming. We're debuting Origin on Slayer and CTF, 3 captures to win on Origin. And of course, Fortress. Fortress, we will have Neutral Bomb, which is a new mode to HCS and obviously the game, and also Fortress CTF. Along with Fortress on Neutral Bomb, we are adding Aquarius Neutral Bomb, and we are adding, obviously I mentioned CTF Origin and CTF Fortress. With adding 2 new CTFs, we decided probably going to remove at least 1. Right now we've decided to remove Empyrean. Shout out to Empyrean. Obviously, the Pit, as we formerly knew it, has served us well in many Halo games and has served us well here.
Numerous Halo games now.
Numerous,
yeah.
I think. Yeah,
Like
I mean,
most.
but yeah, farewell to Empyrean for now. And like you can see here, a lot to digest, a lot to practice. I'm really excited to see both new maps, new modes, obviously new ranked rotational playlists. There's a lot of new stuff coming for ranked players, and they have their work cut out for them. There's a lot of new meta to develop, things to learn. So they got to get on the grind.
New weapon balances and new jumps.
New weapon balances.
Lots to learn.
Good point. Also, just a little bit more Sandbox relocations on the maps to keep it fresh too.
Awesome.
yeah.
I cannot wait. Tashi, we're going to kick it over to you right now. We're
Oh,
starting to
for
talk
what?
more about HCS.
Oh.
And yeah, let's, I know people are eager to get to the roadmap. We're going to do that here momentarily, but why don't you first, let's start off, give us an update on partner teams.
Yes. So obviously partner teams are a huge part of the HCS ecosystem. And want to start by just saying thank you to 2 teams who are going to be exiting, which is Quadrant and Sentinels. They've been with the league for numerous years, especially Sentinels. I mean, they joined on before even Halo Infinite came out. And Quadrant ran an amazing London major, and they put so much effort in. They always showed up at the events, supporting the fans. Sentinels always had a booth, always did great tournaments. And just want to say a heartfelt thank you. We are leaving things on good terms. Hopefully come back sometime in the future. But again, just a big thank you to Quadrant and Sentinels for being part of the HCS. But that's not all. So we have obviously 2 spots that have been opened. And so we've been doing work in the off season to find 2 teams to enter the partnership program. The first I'm excited to announce is Shopify Rebellion. So the Shopify has been in the league for a number of years now, and they've been great to work with.
They're like a staple now. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, they're always there. Yeah.
Always fielding a great roster. I've heard nothing but positive feedback from the players, and they had a great booth at Worlds last year. And it's clear they just are committed and putting their best foot forward. And those are the type of partners that we want to work with in the ecosystem. So we're really excited to bring Shopify in. And of course, as customary, they're going to be having more booths at our events. They're going to be hosting their own side tournaments. And of course, later in this year, you'll see their content in the in-game shop as well for people to dress up with.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And there's still one more slot open, and which we are excited to announce is being filled by TSM. So this is a first for Halo. We've been actually talking to TSM for years and years, so we're really excited to finally find the right opportunity and the right moment to bring TSM into the HCS, into Halo for the first time ever. They've got a great roster. I think they're announcing it later. I'm not going to spoil it right here, but we're
leak it.
yeah. But no, we're really excited to partner with TSM. I mean, they're a legendary brand in esports, and they're in multiple games, and we're really excited to have them be in Halo now. And I know their skins are going to look awesome and whatnot. So yeah, we're really pumped for TSM.
Heck yeah. So let's take a look then. What does that look like? What is our official 2025
Nice.
Yep. There you have it.
partner
So
team family? There they are.
filled out roster of all 7 teams. Of course, welcoming back Space Station, Optic, FaZe, Cloud9, and Complexity. Just a huge thank you to all of them as well for being part of the HCS for many years now and continuing to support. And, it's really like you can't put into words like how big of an impact this has on our whole ecosystem, right? They are paying the salaries for these pro players, enabling them to live out their dreams playing Halo competitively. All of their fans watch, and it's just a really important part. So big thank you to all of our partners. Thank you for being part of this all again, and thank you for all the fans that are supporting the teams and aligning your fandom with them and all that stuff. So continue to support the teams, continue to help them out. That's what helps make this whole thing go. So yeah, thank you again to all of our partner teams.
All right, Tashi. Well, we're getting into that time now. Then
we're out of time? No.
No. Oh, yeah, and that's a wrap. No, let's. Richie, you talked about some of the new cool things that are coming to shake up the meta. We've got new teams coming into the fray. Now, Tashi, tell us
where are they going to be doing this?
When, where, and how can we get involved and start getting on board the HCS hype train for this season?
All right. Well, let's do it one by one. So we're going to be kicking things off in a very interesting way. We've never done this before, so I'm excited to announce the FaZe Kason Showdown. So Kason is a huge streamer, is part of FaZe. He's a huge Halo fan as well. And we've been working closely with him to do an invitational single-day LAN event, $50,000. There won't be any fans in attendance, but you'll be able to watch the entire thing online. You can see twitch.tv/Kason. It'll be on the Halo channel as well. And he has handpicked 4 teams. It's going to be Space Station, Shopify Rebellion, FaZe, as well as Optic. And this is going to be an insane kind of preview for the whole season. So we've never done this before. We're really pumped. It's going to be like one full day of the craziest high-level matches that you can imagine, and on all of the new things that we just showed. So the new Sandbox tunings, the new maps, all of that stuff. So that'll be a really awesome way to kick it off, and that's March 29th.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Just keep rolling. It's all you.
The next event, I got this. All right. The next event is going to be the kickoff major with Optic Gaming, April 18th to 20th at the Esports Stadium, Arlington. I mean, what more could be said here? Optic are amazing partners. They always host a great event. The Green Wall always shows out in full force, and they've got a really crazy new roster this year, so I know they're going to show up in a big way. It's a major, so $250,000 prize pool for the 4v4. We'll have side tournaments for various other Halo games, including Halo Infinite, of course, the free-for-all, and tickets will be on sale in a few weeks, but we're kicking things off with the Optic Major there, so that one's really excited, and obviously a ton of points too. So, that will be really important to basically see where all the teams stand up in the season.
Cool. All right. What's next?
Okay, next, we get a lot of questions about returning to this type of event, and we're excited to announce we're going to be at DreamHack in May 23rd to 25th. That's in Dallas, Texas. It is the HCS Open, so we have some format details that are still being locked in, so we'll have more to share in the coming weeks. But you can expect, obviously, a 4v4 Open and Pro kind of type of format. And, we'll have more details to share, but it's always been special being part of DreamHack. There's a huge festival. They have, like, tens of thousands of people going every single day, so it's going to be ransacked. There's tons of games there.
It's fun to just walk around when you're in the venue.
Yeah.
It's cool seeing all the other games.
Call of Duty in the same place.
Really?
That's true.
Yeah, it's happening, huh?
It's very exciting.
Wow, yeah.
John, you're going to bring your own PC for the Bring Your Own PC LAN area.
Oh,
this year.
I could set
Talked
up.
about that? All right.
He'll bring his laptop.
I got no work deliverables, so I'll just sit there.
Well, I mean, it almost feels like we're opening a satellite office in Texas, but we can talk about that later. All right, DreamHack is definitely unique. It's awesome to be back there. I'm going to have to put that one on my own itinerary, but what's after that?
Next, we've got another major. We're going to be partnering with Space Station for the Salt Lake City Major, August 1st to 3rd. Again, Space Station have been incredible partners. If you were at that event last year, I mean, there's just a wealth of things that you could have done, different games to play. They had incredible branding. I mean, they just went all out. Like, it was amazing. And so we just had to work with Space Station once again in their hometown of Salt Lake City. So, there you go. So they're going to bring the heat. We're really excited about that one.
Okay.
And in August, it's
Yeah,
be
they're
nice
literally
and-
bringing the heat.
Yeah.
I wear They make amazing apparel.
It's true.
They really do.
Yeah.
They threw the gauntlet down, and anyone else wants to rise to the occasion, bring it. But I am biased, John, and I'm okay with that.
He's like, I'm gonna say it.
That's fine. Yeah, that works. All right. So after SSG,
Yeah, so after SSG, we'll have yet another major, and this time partnering with FaZe Clan. Final details are still being locked in here, so we're looking at the early fall time frame, which, if you look at the calendar, it kind of narrows it down to the weekend that it might be on. Cities to be announced. We're working really hard on making sure we're picking the right city. We are absolutely listening to community feedback about their favorite requested cities and where we want to be. So we just have some final details we need to lock down. But FaZe again did an awesome job at the Atlanta Major last year. That was a really kick-ass event. And so, you can absolutely expect their fingerprints to be all over this one. And it's another major. So 250K prize pool, and arguably the most important major of the year competitively, because it's your main qualifier before Worlds. So absolutely huge event. And yeah, we're excited to share more details. Just need a few more weeks cooking.
awesome. And you mentioned Worlds, so why don't you bring us home?
Let's do it. We're literally coming home. Seattle, Washington, October 24th to 26th. $1 million Halo World Championship.
Very nice.
To cap off year 4 of HCS for Halo Infinite. This one is going to be obviously really special, not only because it's Worlds, but also we're kind of mixing things up a bit. We've had really the same floor plan for the last and stage design for the last few years. So we're working with Esports Engine right now to make some design alterations, improve the flow based on community feedback and what we're seeing out there, but also want to make some new additions. We're of course going to bring back the community stage. We're going to have the cosplay contest,
Nice.
all the things that people know and love about Worlds, and how it's really a celebration of the entire Halo community, not just esports. That's what we're looking to obviously bring back and even add even more things to it. So we're pumped. Worlds is special. The whole studio will be there. So, if you can only go to one event, I definitely recommend the World Championship is it. And yeah, here's a look at that full roadmap. Again, don't forget, we're kicking things off with the Kason Invitational, which doesn't have any points, which is why it's not on this graphic. But you can see also here's the online qualifiers, which are going to start up in the very first week of March. So we're just a few weeks away from all the official HCS competition kicking off. And that first one will feed into the Optic Major, as you can see. And it all culminates in Worlds. So we're excited for another year of HCS.
Hell yeah. And Tachi, if in case anybody looking for more information on the roadmap or any of the HCS news or ranked updates, well, HCS news, I should say, where can they go to find that?
Yes. So 4 locations: Halo.gg, follow HCS on X/Twitter, follow HCS on Instagram, and then the HCS YouTube. So if you're locked to all of those, you're going to get all the latest information for everything throughout the season. So when tickets go live, team passes, all that good stuff.
Heck yeah. Well, man, we did it. Just, almost got this thing in an hour. So you almost won the bet.
I
if
know.
not for that pesky power outage.
I know, we would have had it.
But yeah, we are pretty much at the end. We've covered a whole bunch of stuff today. As we wrap things up, Tashi, Richie, I'll kick it over to you guys. Do you have any kind of closing remarks, any final thoughts you'd like to share? Richie, we'll tell the people what you got going on.
Well, just bringing it back to this update specifically, like if you're just a Halo fan, Halo player, it's really exciting time to get back into the game or continue to play the game. There's so much new, good stuff. I'm really excited. So, yeah.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, the ranked and HCS and gameplay teams have just been cooking, and we wanted to make sure we had something big going into the game for ranked and competitive before the HCS season started. So, I'm personally just really excited about how much we were able to change and new things we were able to add. Assault going in, like there's so much. Like, so if you play ranked and the ranks resets Tuesday, like get in there. It's going to feel like a totally fresh experience. And then just want to say thank you to everybody for supporting HCS over the years and continue to support. We just celebrated 10 years of HCS starting, and now we get to continue. It's the 4th year for Halo Infinite, which is just crazy. This is actually like the longest running major competitive scene for a single Halo title ever. And the rosters are all changed and crazy, and we've got these new maps and modes, and like you just saw the roadmap. Like, it's going to be an incredible year for HCS. So just thank you to everybody, all the fans, all the players, all the partners and whatnot. We're just very thankful to be able to keep putting on an amazing show for you guys. So thank you.
Hell yeah. John, anything from your side before I go through my final closing notes here?
I'm just excited to jump in next week. I'm I'm really excited to get my hands on everything.
Hell yeah. Well, big thanks to Richie and Tashi for joining us. I am also stoked. It's going to be the best year yet for Infinite Esports. Very excited to see how this all plays out. And just to recap, and I should say again, if you want to go and learn more about all the stuff coming next week on Tuesday as part of Halo Infinite's spring update and Operation Frontlines, you can do that by heading over to halowaypoint.com. We've got a blog there the team's put together, just got a whole bunch of information about everything we've covered today. More details on some of the weapon tuning specifics. You can read about the Fuel Rod SPNKr, brand new gun, weapon, explosive weapon coming to the Sandbox next week. And some of the Battle Pass stuff I mentioned up at the front. If it felt confusing or you lost me there, or I lost you rather, you can read more about it on Waypoint. But the main thing to note is there is an expanded pass. It's got a lot more value jammed into it now in response to your feedback. And we hope you check it out, and we look forward to hearing what you think about that. And yeah, I should also remind you, before we roll into Operation Frontlines, make sure you finish up your current Brute Force Operation Pass if you haven't yet. And going forward, remember, we'll have a big update. If we can look at that one more time, Nick, if you got that screen for me.
Nice.
Next week, we'll kick off our spring update with that download on February 4th, taking us in Operation Frontlines. Then next month after that, we'll have Operation Blue Team. That'll be you'll be able to find more of the traditional 20-tier Operation Pass available then. That's a free armor set that you'll be able to earn and unlock along your way. And then we'll bring home the spring update with the Operation Forerunner. That'll go live in April 8th. And then after that, we're now talking about the summer update, which a little too far out right now to go into a lot of details, but I want to leave people with just one thing, John. I know we don't like to overhype or talk about things that are super far out, but just like we've had sort of the MA5K was one of the core pillars of the winter update, Fuel Rod SPNKr is a core piece of this next week's spring update.
Yep.
The summer update, it will be the summer of the Mutilator.
It's going to be exciting.
It is going to be exciting, and I know a lot of folks have been super eager, and some people have found it and tinkered with it, but it's happening, it's real, and you can look forward to that as part of what's on deck for later this year in Infinite, and we'll have a lot more to share between now and then, of course. So, guys, I think we made it. We did it. We're at the end. Want to give a shout out again to Nick, Phil, and Todd, our awesome production crew in the back that helps bring all this stream together. Also, big shouts out to Duncan and Riley and Lalo for a bunch of awesome graphics and videos that we saw here today, and a whole bunch of other people, of course, that helped bring all of these programs, HCS, and all of our community efforts to life. So on behalf of the whole studio, thank you for watching and for supporting Halo, and we can't wait to see you online next Tuesday.